What is up, Alliance? I had a marathon session last night. I don't know if the DM heard that Keith got like a 5 hour session in Unleashed, that he's like, yeah, I'm not going to be outdone by one of these upstart DMs or anything like that. But what we started at probably around 11:30 and I think wrapped up around like 4:45. Sean got a little time in there too. He got a little part of his session, but yeah, like I said, still it was a freaking marathon. But man, what a session! So it started off slow, like the last one did, where actually the last one I'll link that in the main chat. Like I did a recap for the DM. I had done another recap for Alliance, but my power went out, and I thought it had uploaded, but apparently it didn't, and I had deleted the video, the basic copy of the video. So that recap was lost. But I did do a recap for the DM that was a little shorter, which explained things. So I'll link that first. Um, but yeah, okay. So where I left off from last time is Opal and I were building this sword to slay this beast, this Cerberus, that that had that this group, like that my sister, I think she's part of this, like the Crescent Moon School or the Crescent Moon something or other, like academy. And it's kind of like one of those ninja schools, and they were tasked with like kind of a high level job. There was 100 of them to capture this beast and basically use it for the Saiyan Empire in some way. And someone betrayed them, and I come to find out it's this guy named Quintus, and he is a Super Saiyan 3, which, oh man, hopefully we don't run into this guy when I go to rescue my sister, because I'm a Super Saiyan 1. Like, that gap is pretty wide. Uh, but my sister is a 2 at this point, and I don't know, like Opal I don't think has like Saiyan levels, but she's up there, like she's pretty nice. That all being said, like I'm still like a 1. Like I'm a very far along 1, but like I'm still a 1. And it's like without that power jump to 2, it's like I think it was described as like, fighting a 2 versus a 3 is like crossing a lake versus crossing an ocean. Like it's just there's such a wide gap between the two of them. And like I said, fighting 2 levels up like that is just, it's not something you want to do. So yeah, this guy Quintus. But the big thing about Quintus is he is uninitiated, was the term, and it's a Saiyan with no connection to the mystic side. So he's not an arcane Saiyan, and this is something that comes into play earlier or later. Why I'm pretty happy about the race I picked. Um, so we kind of like hash out a plan what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a rescue operation. We're gonna save Taguru and Mira, my sister, and get out of there and regroup, and like go back and like maybe try to get like someone to properly handle this Cerberus, because they're like a team of 100 people there. 100, I don't know if they weren't all Saiyans. They're mostly Saiyans, but like to capture this beast, and it fell apart, and like Quintus betrayed them, I think, for like his own personal gain. Like he wanted to use the Cerberus for his own goods, because he's an older dude. I think he was like jaded with the military system, and this was kind of his like, I don't know if he's gonna sell it or use it for his own personal standing or what, but something like that. That's what they believe. Uh, yeah, so like there was a good bit of time where it was like Opal and I were hanging out and kind of like hashing things out, and had a little bit of a heart to heart, because she's a little frazzled about like everything that's going on, but Emrys had a bit of a cooler head about him. It's like his sister, he's worried, but like he's a very much like nose to the grindstone kind of person. Like he can focus through some of that crazy stuff just by like the nature of his work. Uh, so yeah, we did that, and things were going pretty good. We're on our way there on my little spaceship. I think it's called, yeah, Nebula's Hammer is my little mining vessel. I got my own little mining vessel. And we get stopped by this ship. It's like a custom ship. And, there's this dude named Dylon. He brings like we basically talk, and he's like, yeah, just gotta check things out, customs and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And I got nothing to hide, because I got nothing to hide. Like I got my stuff in order. Like I basically came out here for materials and all that other stuff. Uh, So I do it, and he says, like, what are you doing out there? Like, there's a lot of pirate and smuggling thing. And I was like, Opal did not tell me that, like, where we're heading is, like, pirate and smuggling territory. So I was like, I did not know that. I was like, I'm going off a tip of a friend of mine that says, like, there might be some mineral deposits I might be able to like, look into out there. And I was like, that's why I brought my mining vessel. And he's suspicious. I was like, ah, damn. I don't want to kill this guy. Like, he doesn't even sense like he might be a Super Saiyan or anything like that. But I'll kill him if I have to. So we're kind of back and forth, and he's asking questions. I was like, yeah, man. It's like, if I'm in, like, this smuggler territory, I'd bang on my ship and be like, yeah, I'd have brought, like, a better ship out here for that. It's like, I'm really just out here looking for some, like, looking to do a score for a thing for my business. And I got, like, my little forging business and business card and everything like that. So it's like, yeah, everything should check out. He still doesn't believe me. I was like, of course he doesn't. This bastard. But Opal comes in, and she's pretty attractive as far as these go. Not pretty attractive. She's really attractive. So she had kind of heard things were going a little south. So she threw on one of my shirts and, like, nothing else. It was like, what do you? And kind of played that feminine wiles kind of card on the guy. And she admitted that we're going out here to, like, do a little thrill seeking and everything like that. Like I said, that we weren't doing anything illegal, and all of my papers were in order. So it's like, in the end, he had his, like, mild suspicions, but, like, her looking all good like that, and someone else, the guy's shirt and everything was enough to sway him away. So we got to go onwards and upwards to the mission we were on. This planet, I think it's like Saigon was the name of the planet, and we get there. She's got, like, Opal's got, like, a lot of she has life magic, and she, like, makes a lot of plants and trees, and they have, like, different properties. Like, she's able to mask power signatures. She's able to use them, I think, like, offensively to kind of, like, infect someone with, like, the plant life and maybe, like, hold them down. I haven't seen that. I've seen her throw these wooden spears, and, like, where they land, because they were deflected, but, like, where they land, like, all these this, like, rainforest type stuff, like, springs up around them. So I don't know what would happen if it actually hit someone with them. But at any rate, yeah, she's a life magic user, but she's not a Saiyan, which, like, there's some non-Saiyans out there within our groups, but, like, we're still mostly Saiyans. Yeah, we get to the planet, and we go flying off. We power up, and then she masks my power and her power with the life magic thing that she does, and go flying off, and we find, like, the cave where supposedly Mira and the Master were supposed to be, and Mira's there, but she is, like, messed up. Like, she's like dried blood, dried mud, that kind of thing. Like, she's been through the ringer, because it's been a couple days since Opal came to find me, and I'm assuming it's been a couple more since Opal set out to find me. So it's like she's been kind of stranded here, on her own, like, surviving against, like, traitors, the people who have been turned by the Cerberus, and potentially what's his name, Quintus, who was the second in command, who supposedly killed the first in command of the mission. Now, I don't know if he's actually the most powerful, but, like I said, the Master Toguro was supposed to be another SS3, so he was probably pretty up there. But we come to find out that Toguro is dead. Of course he is, DM. Our 3 to fight his 3 is dead. If it comes to that, because, like, he's the one that wants to guard the Cerberus, and, like, his immediate like, lackeys and everything like that. Opal has a sensu bean for what's her name, for Mira, and so she gets back up into it, and Opal and I are in initial agreement, like, okay, like, the Master's dead, your Master's dead, we need to get out of here. I've got my ship, we'll regroup, and we'll bring back, like, the proper things to deal with this Cerberus. Like, there was 100 of you to set out in this mission to be able to do it, and it's like there's 3 of us now, and we're not the most 3 powerful people here or anything like that. Like I said, there was two threes on this mission, at least two threes in this mission, and Mira's a two at this point, and I'm still my lowly one self. Uh, so that was my take on it, and it was also Opal's take. I thought it was a fine take to have. But Mira's like, no, we can, like, if he escapes with this thing, like, it's we can't let it happen. And oh, that was something else I think I left out, is this thing gives off a aura of evil that is insane, like a menacing, demonic kind of thing. I can't sense evil. This thing let me sense evil, and it was on like a planetary scale, this Cerberus. I come to find out that it might be otherworldly in some way, like they might have found a way to bring this over from like one of the, like an afterworld kind of thing. And the just the sheer, like, the sheer presence of this thing being on this world is like unsettling. Like, you have to just use your willpower to actually fly towards it, like to even get closer to it, because it just feels so like oblivion, I guess is the best way to think of it. Like, you're flying towards oblivion. So it's pretty terrible in that regard. So Mira's like, we've got to stop this. She's like, I'm not letting this thing out there. This is our failure. We need to take care of it. And I initially protested in the sense where it's, I'm not the saying running away from the fight. I'm not that guy this time. Every other character I have is that guy. But this, Cass is reasonable. He's like, yeah, there was 100 of you here. Failed the mission. Let's go get like the proper tools to handle this. It was like, I made the sword that can kill the thing, but it was like, there was a lot of people here to be able to capture it in the first place, and then there's people that are here that are much stronger than us that want to stop us. So it's like, this isn't like and like I think Opal pointed out, like, tell me you're not doing this for glory, as far as like to make your name, your story. And I was like, I don't think she is doing it, because this is an off the books like Black Ops type mission for this ninja school, where it's like they're disavowed if anything goes wrong. It's like, so it's just like, it's kind of cleaning up your own mess. I don't think it's for glory, but I'm still not sure. Still not 100% solo on that for Mira. But I did say that to kind of back my sister up, because she's my sister and everything. Like, I do want to kind of be on her side. So when it comes down to it, Mira pretty much insists that we need to stop this thing, and what's his name? Emrys is not the type that's gonna like leave his sister to die even against impossible odds, because he's a Saiyan. It's like one of those ones. He's not gonna like turn away from the fight, even though it's like it seems like an impossible fight, which will probably be to his detriment at some point. Boy, that's how that character dies. Yeah. Um, so it's like we kind of against Opals and I's better judgment, we decide that we're going to set out and deal with this thing. Only there's an extra problem. That this thing has a corrupting aura, beyond just like feeling like a sense of oblivion surrounding it. Is, if you're the one who's actually going to strike it down, you need these. What did they say it was called? Imprinted. I need it imprinted with something. So, Guru had mentioned like there was this failsafe to kind of protect against the Cerberus, and it's an ether magic process. So, being the strongest ether user, it made sense to apply it to me, because I would probably have the best chance of doing this. Now, what's it called? Now, like I think the idea was going to be is that Opal and Mira try to protect me or try to keep anyone away from me while I go kill the Cerberus. Which, sure, let's go kill the beast of unfathomable darkness. Emrys has got that. But so they basically whip up this this arcane kind of thing, where it's like a cauldron of this gold liquid, and the process for like imprinting is like you do all these mystical things with it, and you dip your arms in it, and I come out and I have like these tattoos that kind of are on my forearms, kind of like the not John Wick, the John Constantine things where it's like he brings them together. And I think I mentioned to you guys, like, that's something I specifically requested as part of my power that gives me a Kaioken effect. It doesn't do anything in game right now. We don't know how it works or anything, but it's like it forms this runic symbol when you push them together. But like I went through like this, like it was very hard to pull them out of the liquid, and it was very painful for me to go through. And but it's like I managed to sword in the stone it where I managed to pull my arms out, and I've got like these golden symbols on my arm, and yeah, they're supposed to do something to protect me. Excuse me, protect me from the Cerberus. Um, yeah, so we do that, and Mira's like, "So you know how it works?" I was like, "Well, you know," I was like, "No." I was like, "You don't know how it works?" And they were like, "No." It's like it was something Master Toguro had mentioned, but like he didn't explicitly explain it to him. I was like, "Ah, of course he didn't." So I was like, "Well, it looks like there's two symbols that come together." I was like, and so I put them together. Nothing happened. I was like, I was Dragon Brother ringsing it from from the old days, Sean. I was like, "Do you put them together? Anything happened to you?" No. All right. So I was like, so Everest, like, you know, being versed in ether magic, decided it's like, well, it might have something to do with proximity to the Cerberus and the effects that it exudes. Like maybe it absorbs it, maybe it triggers when it's around it, like very close proximity to it, something like that. So he's like, we're gonna have to go in blind on this one. He's like, you know, I assume that you guys did it right, right? I hope you guys did it right. But like I said, it might not have like an effect outside of that very specific thing. And so it's like so I basically got my shield in the form of these tattoos against the Cerberus effects. I've got the sword that I've crafted. I'm not a sword user, but like I am a weapon user. So it's like I'm decent. I'm decent enough with it. I can slay a Cerberus maybe. And we set out to find it. And as we're going to it, that's where I said like it really drives home the point. Like it's just like sapping away at your essence, your person, to get closer to this thing. Like or your willpower, I guess is what you'd say. Like it's just like it's death, it's oblivion, it's just like this unfathomable pit of horror that you're flying towards, and it's huge. Like it's on a planetary scale, and maybe like I said, it shows up like later. So it's like I don't know if it knew we were coming for it or what, but like it's just like it seemed like its presence became more known once we were directly heading towards it, which was never good. That's never good. We find it, and thankfully this thing is restrained like with some mystic binding technique. Like there's this black net with this like mystical mist coming off it, and there's these black torches with black flames all Gulliver's Travels, where it's got like it you know, tied down, like netted down all over it. It's like it looks like a Cerberus, like, you know, it's like a three-headed dog beast with horns, and I don't remember if it had the serpent's tail or not, but I don't think it did. Or the DM didn't mention it. Maybe I didn't see the tail. Maybe it's going to show up. It's going to have that big serpent on it. But yeah, it's there. Uh, we're under Opal's thing of being obscured, and we basically say, okay, the plan is um, Mira and Opal go in, act as a distraction. I go make the killing blow. We get in, we get out. Like they're ninjas. It's a hit and run thing. I'm okay with that as a Saiyan. Like, like you know, Emrys does not want to tangle with this Super Saiyan 3 dude. It's like, yeah, for all the stuff and everything like that. That gap is really really wide. So yeah, we do it. Emrys does his Avatar of Speed thing. Flies in there, goes to do it, and then at the last moment he has another technique that gives him another boost of speed, like a flash step kind of thing, and he goes to do it, and clink, hits something solid. Oh man, you know, you guys all know that feeling. You were supposed to plunge a blade into soft fleshy tissue, and like I was gonna drive into his skull, like to kind of like instantly kill it. And I'm thinking, oh man, one, it's going to be upsetting if I clash this thing into his skull, and it's just like the sword's not strong enough because I crafted the sword. That says a lot about me as being a chump character. But thankfully, well, I don't want to say thankfully, because things got much worse. Like, maybe it would have been worse if I would have clunked into the skull, and I was like, okay, maybe I was trying to hack its neck off then, DM, because its skull's too hard. I could have maybe lived with that. It would have been a little shot at my character, but I could have lived with that. It wasn't the Cerberus though. I see before me this this guy who is very clearly Super Saiyan 3. He is powered up to Super Saiyan 3. He had some way to obscure his power as well, and he's got these metal bracers, and he blocked the blade. Uh, he he's an older dude too. Like he's like 100 years old. Now Saiyans do live to be a bit older than that. So it's not like he's not past his prime. I think like my dad is like 100 years old and is like one of the most fearsome warriors out there. Not one of, but he's up there as far as fearsome warriors go. Like he's pretty crazy. Or not dad. I think it was Makoto, who's like the big guy in our family, but also one of those fierce warriors. So it's like, yeah, he's not one of those like old cornered tigers or anything like that. Like this is a dude, like this is an old hat that you don't want to, that's been in like a couple battles and everything. So, and he kind of gives me a look, and then bang, he kind of like pushes me away, or like he kind of hits me away with one of the things. I'm pretty sure he like fractures a rib, yeah, in the process, because he's a Super Saiyan freaking 3. That's why. But I managed to like regain my composure, and Opal catches me with like this weird tree thing. So it's like I didn't fly back as far, and Opal and Mira go at this guy. So I basically take my opportunity to go back towards the beast again, and when I fly back to the fight that's going on, Mira's already caught, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's the Super Saiyan 2. I'm a Super Saiyan 1. How is she already? And you know, it's like there's such a big gap between the levels like that. It's like I understand how, but I was like, I was hoping for a little bit more out of you, Mira and Opal. Come on, step it up. You guys are supposed to be the distraction, not to get your asses beat before I could even get there, kind of thing. And they, like I said, it's like they didn't. I don't even know if they couldn't catch the guy before he got to me when I was going to do the killing blow or what. But like they failed in their mission to let me get at the thing. I don't know. Like, I don't think I'm faster than them either. Like from what the DM and I had talked about, I was like, when I do this, I kind of hashed it out with the DM. It's like, is it more beneficial for me to give the 5x to Opal and Mira, or is it like more beneficial for me to give the 25 to myself, and or the boost to myself? And he was basically like, well, you in two, like it's probably more beneficial to give it to Mira or give it to everybody because Mira is faster than you than with 25 boost. So I was like, okay, I think Mira would be faster than me then, but maybe not with the 25x boost. Uh, so that didn't work out. Mira's gotten like gripped up, and I think he's like God. I can't remember how he grabbed her or anything like that. But he's like beating the mess out of her, and I get back, and like I'm not like I'm decent hand to hand, but like my biggest potency is still in my blast. So I start powering up my ultimate technique, and I'm keeping that part to myself a little bit, just because I'd like to. Maybe if someone is in a session and they hear it, but like I think it turned out pretty cool. So I'm gonna keep it until we see what happens as far as the real world combo. If we're doing tournaments or anything like that, I want to be able to bust it out with a surprise. See how it plays out. Not that I think you guys would outside the game information it, but just one of those fun things to hold on to. So I bust out my ultimate technique, and I stack it up 5 times. So 5 times is 5% of my power. I wanted to do more, but he tells me that he yells to stop, and he like does something to Mira, like where she like screams in pain. And Opal's a support type character. Opal can get it in, like she can get it in hand to hand, but like she's more of a behind the scenes support like life magic user, where she can augment allies, like confuse senses, stuff like that. And she's doing something to him to kind of disrupt his power somewhat, but like he's still a Super Saiyan 3, so it's like, you know, it's like throwing a thimble of water on a bonfire, maybe. For all we know. Yeah, so he does something to Mira to make her scream. So I only get a small portion of my ultimate technique out. And I was like, all right, DM, I go with this then. And he's like, he tells me to stop, and I'm like, I'm not stopping, DM. Like, he's got Mira. He's killed upwards of 100 of these people that they've already been out here with. Like, Mira's just one more on the stack. Like, it's like one of those ones where if I stop and he just snaps her neck and then goes towards me, like, I have no recourse to it. But my speed boost is running off, and it's like, this is my best shot to take it. So it's like, I think even the DM said, like, this blast is going to hit Mira. And I was like, yeah, DM, it probably is, but, like, it's going to be focused on him, and I don't think it's going to kill Mira because she's a 2 and I'm a 1, and I definitely don't think it's going to kill him because he's a 3 and I'm a 1, but it might give me the opportunity, the window, to get at the Cerberus thing. Like, if I can kill the thing and everything like that, it's mission accomplished. Because I can't, like I said, you don't run away from a Super Saiyan 3 unless he lets you run away. Yes, like that, I kind of all in it, and I use my ultimate technique to a level. Like I said, the way I pictured it is, I would probably spend about 25% of my energy to do this ultimate technique, and I only spent 5%. So bang, 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 I do 5 hits of it, and when the dust clears, or like in the moment where the dust has cleared, it looks like a nuclear bomb has hit this area. Like, it leveled everything, like forests, trees, like a, not a mountain, but like the just like the earth was flattened where we are, like just everything. I don't know, maybe it was like a mountain, or maybe it was more of a hill. But anyway, just like a nuclear blast went off, blew everything up. But it was still focused on him. Like, that was just kind of like the blast. The blast was like a shaped blast where it was focused on him, but like the resulting shockwave of everything leveled everything else, and just like kind of left this smoldering rubble left, as well as the Cerberus was still down there, and it sent the Super Saiyan 3 flying away. Damn, sign me up for some of that. And it also, like I said, Opal, I think, like, concealed herself or something like that, and Mira went flying as well. I didn't hit her with the blast as much as I thought I would, which was good, but it was just like one of those ones. It turned out to be pretty potent. I was like, if I knocked the Super Saiyan 3 away with 5% of this blast, that was pretty everything to me. It's like, because I would plan on using like at least a quarter of my energy for this ultimate technique under normal circumstances, but because my time was short and the fact that he had Mira in such a situation, I didn't get as much as I wanted to. But waste no time there. We know, you can't waste time in a thing like that thinking, yes, this blast is awesome. This technique is awesome. I go flying towards the Cerberus, sword in hand now, to go back and strike that blow. And I make eye contact with it. And the thing feels like it takes a year off my life just making eye contact. So I instantly look away. But I still go to do it. And I feel like it's going to do something. Like, I can feel like something building up. So I instantly like put the two things up, like to shield myself, but like also to like maybe put the rune to activate, and boom, I get blacked out. And I wake up embedded in a mountainside somewhere, some distance off. That's strike 2 on trying to kill this thing and missing. Yeah. I wake up and I'm actually not that banged up, surprisingly. Like, I'm sore and everything like that, but like nothing's like broken or shattered. But I'm embedded in rock, so I managed to crawl myself out. And Opal had given me a senzu bean, and I did the same thing of keeping it like in the side of my mouth, like you would a piece of chew, so it's kind of lodged there. So I crunch down on that and get my energy back. And go look, and I can sense out for the sword because I had like a connection to it, but at this point, because of the ether nature of it. So I find it in the bottom of the lake, and I King Arthur this thing as it's stuck in a rock. Fly out, power up, and like, okay. And it's like the DM says, as I'm doing this, I can sense Opal's energy drop. Like, Opal was like sensing like a Super Saiyan, high Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2. And Mira was obviously a Super Saiyan 2. So I feel Opal's energy just drop. And I was like, oh. Hopefully she's not dead. Like, hopefully he didn't kill her. So I get the sword and I go flying towards Opal. And as I'm flying towards Opal, I feel Mira's energy drop. And it's the same way. It's like, or no, it's like she's draining rapidly. Like the DM described it as like a tub being drained, and it's like her energy is just going down. So it's like maybe she was pouring everything into a technique like a beam or a blast, and then as I get to Opal, she is messed up. So I actually have a little technique that has these that I use, like these key healing crystals, and I can use them on myself, and they only restore vitality. Like, it's like you're spending energy to restore vitality. Um, so I do that technique to Opal real quick to get her conscious, to get her like I said, they're not as good as a sensu bean or anything like that, but I guess I'm still new with them. And yeah, I give them to her. It's enough to get her conscious, and I say, if you can mask my presence like you did with our ship coming in, now would be the time to do it. And she's all hurt, and I got her. He got her not like fireman carry, but in both your arms. I'm flying towards the mirror, and I'm thinking, okay, it's time to get out of here. It's like we tried. The Super Saiyan 3 dude showed up and handily beat the mess out of all of us. It's like maybe he's gonna let us get away. I somehow doubt it, but the best I can do is get us all together and try to fly away. And maybe he's thinking these people aren't worth my time. He'll be out of here with the Cerberus by then. And he can be on his merry way, and we're no threat to him because we're not Super Saiyan 3s. that was at least my character's rationalization of the situation. It seemed pretty grim regardless. I get to Mira, and she is probably worse than Opal. And what's his name? Quintus is kind of standing above her in his Super Saiyan 3 glory, and he's like, "It didn't have to be this way," and I flew down to Mira, and he fires this blast. The DM described it as the end of all things. It's not a planet destroying blast, it's a planet enveloping blast. So that's one of those Super Saiyan 3 things where your blasts envelop planets. Like me, Super Saiyan 1, nuclear bomb going off and leveling mountains, or leveling leveling the terrain and everything like that at a 5% of my level. Yeah, that was pretty cool. This is a planet enveloping blast. So that's the perspective of what a gap between a 1 and a 3 is as far as blasts go. And I'm pretty nice with my blast, but still, this dude's a Super Saiyan 3. And so I put on I have this ability where I can absorb energy. I know there's no way I can absorb this blast. It's gonna, like I said, the shockwave from the blast kind of ripples over the planet, and that's before the blast even gets to the planet or something like that. And it's like the blast is going to completely envelop the planet that we're on. So I put up my defensive matrix, or go to put on my defensive matrix, and try to huddle over Mira and Opal, and it's just like, this is it, DM. This is the end of old Everest here. And in a moment that will go on to me to say that Arcane Saiyans are everything, my oldest brother Dakawad shows up and appears in front of the blast, and M. Bison's that bitch to the side, just slaps it. That might not be exactly how it went down, but that's how Emrys is going to remember it. He's a spatial magic user, so things like teleportation, instant transmission, that kind of thing are within his realm of expertise, but also potentially redirection of matter. So I'm assuming he used spatial magic, but in my mind, in Emrys's mind, his big brother is now his hero, as this lowly Super Saiyan 2, just slapped this world-enveloping blast away, and it kind of flew off into space, assumingly destroying 1 or 2 planets along the way. Man, it's good to see him, and it's also bad because Dakawad's kind of involved in the government, and this mission is a very kind of off the books kind of thing. He gets to us and teleports us away to another planet, to another moon or something like that. And oh man, he's mad at Mira. He's kind of mad at me, but it's he's more mad at Mira because Mira drugged me into this, and I'm mad at Mira too. She drugged me into this, and we had a plan, and she wanted to, let's go fight the thing, as opposed to, hey, let's go. There was 100 of us here. Let's not the 3 of us go fight this thing. But yeah, I was like, hey, it's good to see you, man. Like, cause it's like that was it for us. Like that was the end of old Everest. So, yeah, that blast hits him. There's no way he's surviving that. It's like Super Saiyan 3 blast, the Super Saiyan 3 potent blast versus like a Super Saiyan 1, like versus a planet. Like, yeah, that's not happening. Um, we have a little bit back and forth about things. He asks what's going on. I tell him, I was like, I'm out here to save Mira. And he's like, I know about the Cerberus. I was like, I'm out here to save Mira. That's why I'm here. Like I could care less about the Cerberus or something like that. I'm here for the Cerberus for Mira. Like the only reason I'm still here, is because Mira was gonna stay behind and try to kill herself. Like I'm not gonna let my sister die like that. So it's like, let's get ourselves all killed. Um, what's it called? So we basically had a little back and forth, and Mira gets another sensu bean. I don't know if this Opal can like produce them, because she does a lot of like plants and tree kind of stuff. So it's like maybe she can grow sensu beans. Who knows? She'd be handy to have around for that regard. I don't need one because I basically had eaten mine, and yeah. Um, Daquan's like, if we're gonna do this, like we need you at your best. And I was like, my best wasn't enough, man. It's like the gap is like that gap between like a Super Saiyan and a Super Saiyan 3 is too wide. Like yeah, I'm far along, but I just like and even like I think I left out like whatever I got out. Like I tried to push it. Like when I sensu beamed up, I was like, I need more. Like I can't do this level I'm at. And if I do this, like if I can't do this, like we're gonna die. Like the Cerberus is either gonna kill us or the Super Saiyan 3 is gonna kill us. So, like I can't even get away as a Super Saiyan 1. So I tried to push it there and nothing happened. So we go through this thing, and oops, hopefully that didn't cut things off. My thing went to sleep. So we go through. So he's like, follow, follow closely with us. It's like we're gonna go with you. And so we do this thing where we're all powering up, and it's like I'm keeping with them and they're keeping with me, and like our auras are kind of like intermixing because like we're really close, like in this very close family circle, and we start to power up. And he's like, I get to that point where Super Saiyan 1 goes, and it's like, okay, we're good to go there. I'm long form Super Saiyan 1 at this point. Like, I'm very deep into it. And so it's like, we push it, and it's like, it gets to 2, and it's like, it stalls again. It's like, DM, I've been there before. I know this feeling of being stalled out. Like, I don't know how to push past it at this point. And it's like, there is something with, I don't know if it's like the family thing, or if it's the close proximity to the auras, where like they were kind of meshing and intertwining and stuff like that, or whatever it was. But like I'm able to like basically through focus to start pushing further, and I managed through with some great amount of effort. Like I'm shortening it up because it's probably already a long recap. I do manage to hit 2, and oh man, it's so again, like long form 1 is great and everything like that, but the way it's described is like long form 1 has all this power that you can spend on blasts and abilities and stuff, where it's like, but like 2, the difference between 1 and 2 is like you have something to put all that power towards. Like in most fights, like if a fight's over in like 10-15 hits, it's like I have so much more energy that goes unused, whereas 2 allows you to refine that energy to basically boost your body that much further. And it's like, now I won't have like the depth of power I had in 1 to fire the blast off. Like I could probably fire the blast off at like level 1, but like using level 2, like I'll be winded very quick. I'll be winded a lot quicker. But the potency of my strikes, the potency of my blasts, everything like that goes up accordingly. So it's like I finally can put a use to this like lake of energy that I have, and basically transforming it into Super Saiyan 2. Oh man, it felt amazing. Super Saiyan is everything, and then Super Saiyan 2 is up there too. Um, hold on a second here. I'm on the phone. 1 second. I know. I'll be down in a couple minutes. Sorry about that. That's why I'm usually not here on the afternoon. Someone's always hollering at me for something. Yeah, so let me wrap this up here. I'm actually pretty close to a pause, so we're good. So I managed to hit 2, and we're going to go back there and we're going to do this right. We've got like I said, my dad had like the three. They were the three brothers. The what were they called? Uh, they were the Sons of Danza, but they had a special name. I'd have to look it up. I remember it, but I just don't remember it this moment. Anyway, they had their moment. Like this was going to be ours. So we're all Super Saiyan 2 at this point. Everyone's at 100%. We're all powered up to our maximum, and I've got to be the one who kills the Cerberus. Daquan and Mira are going to be the ones to handle Quintus. And I was like, maybe two. Okay, so this is where I kind of come into play is. Mira is not like a very like Mira is like a mild ether user, and what else does she do? She does something else. She has like another school. I'm drawing a lot of blanks here, unfortunately, guys. I have it written down, but it's just I don't have it handily, and I'm kind of trying to hurry this out. But yeah, like so she's not as a potent. Like I think she's more of a maybe it's life magic. But like whatever she is, she does not seem as potent with it. Like I know she's not she's not a great ether user. She's like I'm much stronger in there in that regard. But like Daquan is a very potent light or a very potent space user. Like he's kind of like my dad. He's the older brother. He's the powerhouse of our generation so far. So yeah, having him there to fight the three, it might be enough to turn the tides. But like the big thing I was getting at is the fact that we are arcane Saiyans and he's an uninitiated Saiyan gives us gives us a decent not an advantage, but like it helps us close the gap. Like I said, the fact that I didn't get like utterly obliterated by this guy out of the gate or anything like that, or like I said, that I was able to keep up with some movements to some degree because of my speed thing and stuff like that. Kind of bridge the gap. Now, like I said, like it's an ocean versus a lake kind of thing. It's the way that the way we kind of hashed out the description of it, where it's like it's still a large gap, but it's like at least more of a tangible gap now, like between us. And it's like maybe the three of us can take this guy out. But like I said, we're not looking to objectively beat him. We just want to kill the Cerberus, and then maybe the three of us can like beat him to get away, or put him down enough. So that's where I went on pause. That was where my session wrapped up. It was insanely epic. I probably didn't do the fighting justice because it was like full on Saiyan nonsense. It wasn't as much like knockdown, drag out as the fight with Kato, but then again, like Super Saiyan 1 Emrys was fighting a Super Saiyan 3. So it was a little bit more lopsided in that regard. But yeah, it was everything. My ultimate technique, the beyond like the actual like the because like it's not just like a blow everything up around the area thing. Like I think it was directional in the sense that like it was focused at the Super Saiyan 3, and the fact that it flung him away from the force of the blast, like whenever I hit like the fourth and fifth one, was to me like, oh, like do gods bleed kind of moments kind of thing. Like I was expecting for him to block the entire thing, but it knocked him away. So I was like, okay, ultimate technique worked out for me, and uh, and yeah, so I was like, I was pretty happy with the way things turned out. And like I said, again, this is still naked Emrys, like, and then Emrys wasn't out there like dong hanging out or anything, but like he doesn't have any augmented armor or weapons yet. Like I haven't got to that part in my game where I can sit down and start making stuff. So it's like this is still half of it. Like and I don't have my Kaioken tattoo either. So it's like this is still sweet Emrys who's going against like the Super Saiyan 3. Fully decked out Emrys, like when I get in there, craft some belts of speed and some shoes of kicking ass and stuff like that. It's like you just wait and see. Being an ether magic user, but yeah, like so this is like this. I that was something to DM, and I said to DM, he's like, oh yeah, I guess you have a fair point. Like this is even like fully powered Emrys. Like even Super Saiyan 2 Emrys is not where he's going to be to start the game out. So yeah, it's pretty nutty. Saiyans are everything. Except for order members. That's why we had the moment where it's like where Ace was saying like, you, I can kill you, I can kill you, oh, you. It was like we get to Nexus and say, what's it called? Emerson be like, yeah, I don't think I can kill you. Super Saiyan 5 is your first level for whatever. Okay, okay, Nexus, calm down. All right, but that was where my session ended. We were set out to return to the fight. All of us Super Saiyan 2 now. Emerald's not where he's going to be at the start of the game, but very, very much powered up from where he was. It was an amazing session. It was a very long session. The DM managed to beat out Unleash. He wanted to make sure that, like, you know, those tertiary games and stuff like that don't get too ahead of themselves. Like, oh, you think the Triumvirate can't put out like marathon sessions like that? Look, hold on, player. Let me show you what's up. And the DM showed me what's up. And if the DM wants to show me what's up any other time, he can feel free to, because I'm willing to listen and learn, because I also get some awesome real world in. All right, I'm gonna cut out there.